Observe closely, because one of the greatest acts of conditioning ever performed on the modern mind was convincing people that the civilization of Kemet was simply worshiping false gods. Think carefully about the language itself. The moment people hear the word God today, many instantly imagine supernatural characters demanding worship from the clouds. But the people of Kemet were doing something far more sophisticated. The Neteru were not merely gods in the childish modern sense. They were symbolic representations of the forces, principles, patterns, intelligences, and laws operating throughout existence itself. In other words, the people of Kemet studied nature, consciousness, cycles, the stars, psychology, birth, death, transformation, order, and chaos so deeply, they encoded these observations into symbolic forms humanity could remember, meditate upon, and teach across generations. This is why every netter carries layers of meaning: cosmic meaning, psychological meaning, natural meaning, social meaning, spiritual meaning. So let us now go deeper, beyond the watered-down summaries, beyond the cartoons, beyond the idea that the people of Kemet were merely telling bedtime stories about animal-headed beings floating in the sky. Because what the civilization of Kemet was actually attempting to explain was existence itself. Not simply who made the world, but how reality emerges, how order appears from chaos, how consciousness awakens, how balance sustains existence, and how human beings fit inside the cosmic process. In the beginning, before light, before stars, before earth, before sound, before form, there was Noon. Noon was not a man sitting on a throne somewhere above the clouds. Noon was the infinite field of unformed potential, endless dark waters without shape, boundary, or distinction. No up, no down, no separation, no life, no death, no time as humans understand it. Just limitless potential waiting for emergence. And understand carefully how advanced this observation was. The people of Kemet looked at the Nile every year and saw the same mystery repeated in nature itself. The floodwaters covered the land completely, and then slowly, from those waters, the first mound of earth emerged again. So to them, creation was not magic tricks. Creation was emergence from hidden potential. From the invisible comes the visible. From silence comes sound. From darkness comes light. From chaos comes structure. And from Noon emerged the Benben, the first mound, the first stable point, the first appearance of order rising from the waters of infinity. The Benben represents the first moment distinction appears in existence. Before the Benben, nothing was separated. After the Benben, creation could begin. And from this first emergence came Atum, not an old man in the sky. Atum represented self-creation itself, existence organizing itself, consciousness becoming aware, reality pulling itself into form through its own power. Atum is the principle of becoming, the realization that creation emerges from within existence itself. And Atum contains both masculine and feminine potential, because before division, all possibilities existed together in unified form. Then Atum brings forth Shu and Tefnut. Shu is not merely a wind god. Shu represents breath, expansion, atmosphere, the invisible force that creates space between things. Without Shu, everything collapses back into undifferentiated chaos. Shu is separation itself, the force allowing movement, growth, sound, direction, and life to occur. Breath itself became sacred because breath is life in motion. Tefnut represents moisture, humidity, atmosphere, balance, fluidity, the sustaining conditions necessary for life to exist. Together, Shu and Tefnut symbolize the environmental harmony required for existence to flourish. Notice what Kemet is doing. They are not beginning with sin, guilt, or punishment. They are beginning with the conditions necessary for life itself. Then Shu and Tefnut produce Geb and Nut. Geb is not simply the earth god. Geb represents matter itself, soil, minerals, fertility, mountains, agriculture, stability, the physical body of existence. Geb is what feeds humanity, what supports civilization, what grows life from hidden seeds.
Nut is not merely a sky goddess. Nut represents the cosmic expanse itself, infinity stretched across existence, the womb of stars, the celestial field containing time, cycles, and heavenly motion. This is why Nut is covered in stars, because the people of Kemet understood humanity lives inside a cosmic system. And Shu stands between Geb and Nut, holding them apart because separation creates existence. Without separation, there is no motion. Without motion, there is no time. Without time, there is no life. Kemet understood that reality depends upon polarity held in balance. Heaven and earth, motion and stillness, seen and unseen, masculine and feminine, chaos and order. Then from Geb and Nut emerge Ausar, Aset, Set, Nebathet, and Heru. And this is where modern conditioning completely fails to understand Kemet. These are not merely characters. These are principles operating inside nature, civilization, politics, psychology, and human consciousness itself. Ausar represents higher order, civilization, agriculture, resurrection, renewal, discipline, and the possibility that humanity can rise above brutality and ignorance. Ausar symbolizes the dying and rising principle in nature itself. Crops dying and returning, seasons changing, consciousness transforming through trials. Aset is one of the most profound principles in all of Kemet. Aset represents wisdom, intuition, hidden knowledge, disciplined intelligence, sacred perception, and the power to assemble truth from scattered pieces. This is why Aset searches for and restores Ausar. Symbolically, wisdom restores higher consciousness after chaos tears it apart. Set is not simply evil. Modern people oversimplify him because modern systems often divide everything into absolute good versus evil. But Set represents chaos, storms, deserts, disruption, ego, violence, imbalance, aggression, and destructive force, yet also necessary challenge. Because without challenge, nothing evolves. Without resistance, nothing grows stronger. Kemet understood chaos could destroy, but also transform. Nebathet represents thresholds, transitions, hidden spaces, mystery, protection, mourning, and the unseen dimensions between states of existence. She symbolizes the boundary spaces humans rarely understand consciously. Then comes Heru. Heru represents awakened consciousness, elevated sight, disciplined kingship over the self,
the higher mind learning to rule impulse instead of being ruled by it. This is why the eye of Heru became sacred. It represents perception restored, awareness healed, consciousness brought back into balance after fragmentation. The battle between Heru and Set is not merely external mythology. It represents the battle between higher awareness and chaotic impulse occurring inside human beings themselves. And then above all these principles stands Ma'at. Ma'at is not merely morality or being nice. Ma'at is cosmic order itself. Truth, harmony, justice, proper proportion, balance, alignment with reality. The sun rises in Ma'at. The stars move in Ma'at. Nature cycles in Ma'at. The Nile floods in Ma'at. To live against Ma'at was to live against the structure of existence itself. This is why the hall of Ma'at weighs the heart and not belief. Because Kemet cared about what you became, not merely what you claimed to believe publicly. Your heart reveals your weight. Your actions reveal your alignment. Your life reveals your balance. And this is why Kemet remained so powerful thousands of years later. It did not separate science from spirituality, astronomy from ethics, psychology from cosmology, architecture from sacred understanding. Everything was connected. Temples aligned with stars because the heavens were studied carefully. Pyramids reflected cosmic order through mathematics, direction, geometry, and celestial alignment. Even Khepri, the scarab, represented becoming itself. The rising sun rolling across the horizon like the scarab rolling its sphere. To the people of Kemet, creation was not a one-time event trapped in the distant past. Creation was continuous. Every sunrise is creation. Every transformation is creation. Every awakening of consciousness is creation. Every season, every birth, every cycle, every act of becoming is Keperu, perpetual emergence. So the true Kemetic cosmology was never about primitive humans worshipping false gods. It was a symbolic system attempting to explain the mechanics of existence, the balance of reality, the evolution of consciousness, and humanity's responsibility to align itself with the laws already written into nature, cosmos, mind, and life itself. Ashe.